Okay, I was going to say, I'm looking at your face as you're reading your notes.
It's funny, I wrote just really abbreviated 2 or 3 words to describe each episode, or not to describe it, but to remind me what it was about.
Right.
But this was involving a grade school, a teacher, and something else.
Ritual?
Oh, okay.
That's what I was going to go with.
Well, you said even more than I was going to, because I was going to say a cult.
Okay. Well,
but you don't find that out until little...
As I was writing it, as I was watching it and writing it, I'm racking my brain to think of all the myths. Anything, again, at this point, I'm still expecting, or hoping, or suspecting, that it's going to tie more into specific creation of holidays.
Right.
Specific pagan rites again. Why do I have Danny Zuko as a question?
Because the main character comes across a guy with a pompadour, and she says she calls him Danny Zuko.
Okay.
It's just so... Okay, here's where the only note I wrote on this one, because I didn't write notes on a lot of the... notes as in my feelings or how I felt about it. This one I actually wrote that it was too corny and comedic for me.
Really? The St. Patrick's Day one?
Yes.
Oh.
Come on, we just talked about the guy with the pompadour and the lady calling him Danny Zuko.
Okay, yeah, I guess by the end of it.
That's, of course, from Greece, for those who've not seen Greece. Oh, dear.
Okay.
It was really, it was entertaining still. But it got a little too corny at the end, if you remember the end.
Right. I do. The end of it got...
I was like, what just happened here?
Made me think...
It went over the edge.
Bit of... I can't think of the name. They remade it with Nicolas Cage. Maybe you guys listen. You guys know what I'm talking about. Wicker Man.
Yeah.
Wicker. It just generally made me think about that.
This specific episode...
Starting, the beginning of it, though the end of it... Yeah, by the end of it and stuff, it went all kinds of kooky and...
Okay, that's weird.
Anyhow, so anything else for that one then?
No, I liked Valentine's Day better than St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, what about Easter?
I
know initially when I saw this, I thought it was a Kevin Smith one. I absolutely thought this one was written by Kevin Smith because we didn't know which one he had done.
Right. And it became very obvious, though, didn't it?
That it wasn't Kevin Smith.
Right, but when his started, weren't you like, brother.
Yes. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, lowbrow locker room.
Okay. But I gave him more credit with this one because it tied in
you gave him too much credit.
actual Christmas traditions mixed with pagan traditions for a somewhat...
Did you say Christian? It's not like you said Christmas. I was going to say, no, it's Easter, not Christmas.
Right, no, I got you. Christian is what I said.
Okay.
I believe I said or intended to say. And the confusion that could create in a young person's mind, and they just kind of picked up and ran with it.
Yeah.
And some people would be very offended by this.
Yeah.
Very offended. I wasn't, but I could see why some people would be.
Yeah. You have to just take it for what it is.
Exactly.
I guess.
Yeah. My one other note is I don't think I'll be eating any robin's eggs this year.
No?
Not after watching that one.
I want it to be a surprise, I guess, for what I want to say what came out.
Oh yeah.
Or what
what the greater scope of it included?
Yes, I don't even want
this one you got to experience.
Okay, but now let's say it was a mom and a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And mom's putting the daughter to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Dad's not around anymore. It's just mom and daughter.
Right.
There was a lot of red herrings in there.
Okay, fair enough.
They talked a little bit about the dad and being gone and is he ever coming back?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my gosh, it's an Easter, it's going to be a resurrection story and dad's coming back. There were all kinds of different, my brain was trying to
rush ahead and make up and stuff.
And
Absolutely
then at some point, mom was acting really weird, and I was like, "Oh, geez, what's mom's issue?" So, but then it kind of it went a totally different direction,
completely different. Well,
so that one again, corny and comedic, could be applied to this one too.
Could be,
but I liked it better than the St. Patrick's Day one.
Okay. All right.
What did you like that one?
I like this.
Okay.
I hate to admit that how much exactly I did like this because it was disturbing. That's why
it was. So, yes.
Yeah, it was plenty creepy, despite the corniness and so on. There was. I can appreciate.
I think how much I
somewhat
loved
offensive
Easter when I was a kid.
humor and so on.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Yeah.
So
it was
over the top,
offensive.
but entertaining nonetheless. Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Something about the high desert. That's what I wrote here.
Something about the high desert. You saw those Joshua trees.
My comments on this one, Mother's Day, is that it was missing something. It looked really good. It was shot well. It was well acted.
Yeah.
But.
And that being said, all of these were.
All of them were. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a couple of them had some kind of crazy effects in it that were like, what? St. Patrick's Day. Some of them had effects that were really great.
Yeah.
And I think all of the, like, location, setting, lighting, camera work, all that stuff I thought was really good. It seemed like it was all just, like, top-notch, good quality.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't care for the Mother's Day one.
No, I'm going to say the same thing. At this point...
The ending was terrible. It just had a shock value ending, maybe?
Right.
The story was okay. Like, I was with it for a little while.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. This is not going to be good.
Right.
But then, like, the ending just kind of just sort of fell apart.
Right, I gotcha.
I don't know.
Still, of these so far, Easter was my favorite.
Okay.
Now we get to Father's Day.
Yeah.
Father's Day. I wondered after they did Mother's Day, I wonder if they would do Father's Day. They did do Father's Day.
Yeah.
What is your thought on Father's Day?
I liked that one.
A young girl finds...
She finds a box on her doorstep.
Right.
And opens it up, and there's an old tape play, like a tape recorder in it.
Yeah, an old 80s style, is what I'll say.
The ones we grew up with.
Yeah.
And a tape from her father.
From her father.
Who supposedly her mom told her when she was little that her father was dead.
Yeah.
Or died.
Yeah.
But surprise, Dad's actually alive, and he's made a tape recording for her to find later, giving her instructions on how to find him.
So how to contact, or to find him or whatever.
I liked that one. I can't totally remember how it ended,
I want to call it a Lovecraftian story.
I was going to say that.
Okay.
It totally could have been something that we would have seen at the H.P. Lovecraft Festival.
Now,
many of these could have been.
Could have been in that.
This one especially.
This one struck a chord with me for a particular reason, because I know what it's like to pop a tape in, an old cassette tape, and listen to it, and hear the voice of somebody that you weren't expecting to.
Yeah.
A friend of mine that's passed away several years ago now, I heard her talking to me on the tape. I mean, it was actually a audio tape message or whatever. I mean, it was somebody on the answering machine or whatever, but I was not prepared to hear that. Yeah. And so hearing that was just like, whew, I can't even describe what it was like, but so for her, so anyhow, I was able to identify with that it doesn't have anything to do with the story. I don't know where I'm going with that. Never mind. Okay, so anyhow, moving on.
So you liked that one?
I liked that one, but at the end of it...
It was more subtle.
Yeah, that one was subtle, and I didn't like the ending of it.
See, I don't remember the ending. You'll have to tell me when we're done.
We'll talk about it afterwards, yeah.
See, that's where I'm like, okay, I remember liking it, and I was interested in where it was going, but the fact that I can't remember the ending... Yeah. There must have been something...
Something wrong with it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so next is Halloween. And I couldn't wait for the Halloween one, right? Because Halloween is automatically scary and horror and monsters and all this cool stuff. Can you imagine, like, you're asked to do an anthology and you're given Halloween, like, for a horror anthology? Yeah. So they gave it to the Golden Boy. Kevin Smith got this one. And I wrote a few notes here.
I've got only one sentence.
Oh.
Do you want to go first?
Well, I only have 4 words here.
Okay. What are your 4 words?
Well, 2 of the words were no talent, but we talked about that already. Actually, I just wrote expected and crude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, had nothing to do with Halloween.
Mine, it just says, too bad it's just torture porn.
Yeah.
It turned into just like straight torture porn. And
the only thing this had to do with Halloween was that this is something that occurs on the night of Halloween.
Right.
Otherwise, it has nothing to do with Halloween.
Well, they refer to themselves as a coven and so on. But yeah, all of it's a stretch and all of it's...
Come on. Oh, and I did add an extra little note. I wrote that, it could have been fun for Halloween, which I guess I've been saying that. Like, it could have been totally fun.
Yeah.
You could have done something awesome for Halloween one.
Instead, it just degenerated into torture porn.
Stupid.
So that was a
it was just stupid. Come on. Kevin Smith, try harder. Actually, he doesn't have to try harder because he has everybody fooled. Everybody gives him all their money for this stuff. I should start doing some movies and some writing.
Maybe so.
I think I could do better.
Let's talk about Christmas instead.
Okay.
It's that time of year.
It's the most wonderful time of year.
It can be.
And the traffic is terrific.
Is that sarcasm? My note says strange days, but I think this is more appropriate than ever this year since the virtual reality stuff is really out there. What did you think about this?
I liked it all right. It had Seth Green in it.
Seth Green in it, right?
Yeah.
He's going out to get that last-minute Christmas present, gets there just a little bit too late.
He has an overly pushy, domineering wife that tells him he can't come home until he gets this virtual reality toy for their kid.
Yeah. And it's a little bit more than virtual reality. That's why I mentioned Strange Days.
Yeah.
Angela Bassett and Ray Fiennes in Strange Days, they have that technology that lets you view things through other people's eyes.
Okay.
This technology is a little bit similar to that, or it kind of picks up your brain waves and shows you...
Well, it shows you back, like, your memories, things that you just did.
Yeah,
I don't get... Yeah.
Well, it's different things to different people is the point. Anyhow.
I guess.
My notes are awful and funny, so twisted.
Okay.
And,
I didn't write a lot for that one. It
Twilight
was
Zone with teeth. An Outer Limits, a little more scary and a little more over the top.
Okay.
This, I think, was this not rated? Yeah, it says it's not rated. This is definitely R for the material that's in it.
Yeah, this is a rated R movie. Absolutely.
Okay. It's not rated.
Don't get this for the holidays and watch with your kids, please. Please don't. Just don't.
All right.
Or you could just fast forward through Kevin Smith's.
So anyhow,
Christmas.
Yeah, it was good. It was
okay,
good.
yeah, it was
Christmas, I think was one of my favorites. Easter was my favorite so far. I enjoyed most all of them, though. Kevin Smith's Halloween was the weakest for me. There leaves one more, which is New Year's.
Yes.
Was that a strong?
I liked that one.
You liked that one?
Yeah, online dating. It's what you get. What you get.
My first note is dating can be miserable. But that was my.
A little more than miserable.
I jotted down notes obviously initially as we were watching it.
Yeah.
So my opinions changed or they were modified thereon. But then the next note right after that is, oh crap.
Yeah. Yeah, the New Year's one was super fun. Expected. It was, it had an expected ending.
Yeah.
But it was
a fun ride getting there.
Yeah.
If fun is the right term to use for this. All right.
It shouldn't be, but
it shouldn't be. It was fun. You listen to a horror podcast, so for us, it's fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Some horror is totally fun.
All right. So, So here's a number. What's your number?
Oh man, it's so hard with something like this.
I'm gonna give it a 4 overall, and I'm just gonna warn you that the Kevin Smith one is weak. And skippable even.
I guess I would probably give it a 3 because I liked it.
All right.
Yeah, if I could eliminate a couple of these. I think I'd like it better. But, we already know, at least you know, that anthologies are not my favorite.